One, two, three, four.
Hey everyone, it's Teal and Leo with Girl Chat. We are just getting into a little bit of conversation about control. Anyone else have issues with wanting to control everything other than me? I mean, everything, like
Everything. Mhm.
down to like, I have to control the environment I'm in, control every little detail. And what I have learned in my research is that control is based on fear. Can we just talk about that?
It's so true. And you know what? Like this week I have realized how it doesn't it's like I don't know if that's it's is this a trait that we all carry, as humans, or is this familial? Does it get passed down? Because that's what I've realized in our family, like, and we are all controlling. Like, and I don't, it's like you think about it, you're like, I don't want to be that way. But I
Mm-mm.
can even say, Celia, I can even say, and I've never told you this, but even in our relationship, like at our event, but because I trust you, I can lean into that and let you control. But I can see where you even, especially because that is a skill of yours, event planning and having all the, like, you're controlling it. I can let you because I trust you, and I fully trust you. You might be one of the only people in this world that I fully trust in every aspect of my life. Like, I know I can lean on you for and let you, even if you ran it and I didn't help you at all, it would be done. It's like I can control, but I can see where even with me, you're like, no, you stay in control. You keep it running. You keep it, it's like what, because that's, and it's like it's just interesting.
Well, I think it's
Um,
fascinating you say that because I never saw myself as a controlling person.
right.
I'm very usually very would be considered to go with the flow, like not get rocked easy. Like if plans change, I just roll with it, kind of thing. But I have seen that in myself change, and if I go back and look at it, what sparked it, I think, or what a lot has sparked it, is that there have been things in my life that other people took control of, and at the end of the day I was the one left with the responsibility. Does that make sense? Like
Yes,
it somehow became
absolutely. Your problem.
my
Your
problem.
issue, yeah,
And
when it was done to you, and yeah.
right. And
Mhm.
so I think now, and it's not in every scenario, it's just in certain things that I'll find myself in. And so now I am, and I can tell when it's like, it is with event stuff. Like I get real super hyper focused on that. And can get really like it's
And I have not
a
seen
little
you in
much.
that role, I think, in
Yeah.
so long.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't with Be Amazing, because I was just helping with Be Amazing, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
at the end, and so, but I have not been around you in so long in that space, and I'm like, "Oh, I've seen this before." Like, it's like, but I got what was going on or what was happening, and had I not been secure in myself or in our relationship, I would have tried to
Yeah.
push in. Um,
Yeah, because normally I'm just very like I'm pretty, like I said, I just roll with it,
right,
but there's
right,
certain things that trigger it in me, and all of a sudden I find myself controlling or trying to control the situation. And then as I started kind of looking at it, because I find myself this way in multiple areas in my life, like um, whether it's I mean, whether it's family or dinner or whatever, and it's like I need to know like what we're doing and have it planned out and like from A to Z, and there's no missing parts and there's no opportunity for there to be like, additional stress. Like I want to control the environment. I want to control everybody in it because I want it to be this beautiful, happy thing. And in the midst of it, I'm miserable,
yeah, yeah,
unhappy, and sad. And like,
yeah.
so that for me has been a real eye opener. Like, why do I want to be controlling? And the only thing that comes down to, and the more that I've done some research on it, and read about it, and it comes down to fear. Fear is the driver.
Right.
Fear's the driver.
Mhm.
So if you're finding yourself in that like controlling state, like you have to like take a step back and look and see, Why
are
are
you
you
afraid of?
right? What are you afraid of? What's
Mhm,
driving it?
mhm.
There's and I'll put this in the notes. I went to this website, it's called Everyday Power, and it says learning to let go and trust. So you hit on two major things. Control and trust. As long as I can trust you, I stay like cool. Like I
Pretty
don't
mellow and cool with it,
no,
right?
yeah.
Mhm.
But if there's
But
a
if I
situation,
didn't, that's what I'm saying. Had I not trusted you, I wouldn't have. I would
right,
have
you'd
been
have
nuts trying to do it too. We would have been fighting for that, which you find a lot of times in a relationship, with your spouse, or with or with someone that a friendship that you don't have a lot of experience with or trust in yet. It'll be that push pull of who's gonna be the dominant, who's gonna be
Mhm.
the dominant one, and they're typically, if you think right now, in all of your relationships, there's a dominant one and a passive one. And hey, in one relationship, you might be the passive one, but in another one, you're the dominant. So it's like you learn that there's roles that we're all playing. And it's like, but what are we really afraid of if we let
Mhm.
go of that? You know?
Yeah, it's so true. Because it's like that. Every relationship is different.
Yeah.
Everything is. It's all
This can
different.
even stem back to your childhood. Like, this can stem back to trauma when you were young. Like, you can, things that I feel like the older I get, things from so long ago have started to show up. Whereas I didn't even really remember or think about that in my history or my past, like that never really bothered me, but now is coming kind of out, and has played out in my life, but not realized to what degree. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because
I don't
I feel like that's what it is. It's situational, or it's something that's triggered it in the past because you may not be a naturally, controlling
uptight
person,
or
uptight
right.
person.
Because I'm
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. Me neither. So it's really strange.
Yeah.
But, I think what was so cool about these tips that I found that I'm going to start using in my own life. So I thought this would be a great time to share them. So it's tips on learning to let go and trust. So one, get clear on where you need to control, where the need to control comes from, which we just talked about.
Mhm.
Number two, it says observe your patterns. So being self-aware of yourself is huge.
Mhm.
Like being aware of like who are you around? What situations trigger it? Number three, identify the worst case scenarios. What happens if you let go?
Yeah.
Just sit
What
in that a
or
minute.
or
What
what are you yeah,
happens?
just what are you afraid of happening? Like, what if it is the worst case scenario, which I often don't think of. That's my husband in our relationship. He will tell me every worst case scenario that can possibly play out in every situation. I'm like, didn't even think about that. Like, thanks.
I this way with my Ready Fitness jobs because of construction and
Yeah.
because now I'm
Oh,
so hyper aware of all the stuff that goes on that I'm like all the time thinking, okay, what if we get there and this happens?
yeah.
How
What
am
are
I
we
going to
gonna
solve
do?
that problem? Like, so it's like, yeah, I think that's probably made me more that way too, in a control, from a control sense, is like,
Mhm.
what can I control? Okay, so number four, it says start small. So pick a situation, pick something simple that you can start letting go and like trusting, whether it's friendship or, some scenario like trusting other people, trusting my team, like any of that stuff. Number five, consider that trust is a gift. Yes, I would agree. Trust is a gift.
Yeah.
Whether
It
somebody
has to
trusts
be built.
you,
It's like
right?
respect. You don't just
Yeah,
get somebody's respect right off the bat. That has to be, that's time.
yeah,
And I think trust falls right there with it.
yeah. It's just those building
Time.
blocks. So just,
Which
it is a
I,
gift.
as a person, and you could be like, I'm typically very trusting until you mess up. Until you give me a reason not to, I will tend to be very open. But man, the second that something does, it does. I kind of guard goes up.
Yeah. Then we go right into number six, which is remember that by practicing trust, you're giving your loved ones the opportunities to surprise you. Hmm. I'm
I
gonna leave
love
that one right
surprises.
there. As long as they're good.
Mhm.
Number seven, share with your friends and loved ones that new practices you're creating. So I would make people aware, like if trust is really something that you're having to work on, or it's like something you do need to make people aware that this is really hard for me.
You're dealing with it. Yep.
hmm
Mhm.
But I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress
Yes.
always. Number 8, I love this. Take 5 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth.
Oh, it's so important. I do it every time somebody says take a deep breath. I do. It calms your nervous system. It resets that vagus nerve, like which is the central. It's right there at your neck. Is the central highway of your body, and your brain is telling your body what to do. So even in situations where you feel out of control and you
Right.
start to feel it somewhere in your body, whether it's queasiness or that sickening feeling, or you're tense in your shoulders, taking those deep, long breaths and letting it out, it will, and just keep doing it until your brain is telling your body and your nervous system to slow down. You're in control. It's like you have to do that. It's so important.
Yeah, so when you find yourself in those places and that that urge to want to take the reins back or like take over the wheel, like you just have to like take that time because you
Mhm.
can reset
Yeah.
just in that moment. And
Mhm.
that's something I want to do more of so that I don't that that will help you respond versus react. And that could be diffusing for anything, like not just for control, but like whether you're in the middle of an argument or there's something you disagree on, like emotions run high. So I know for me, like it's going to be a conscious effort to like, if I feel that I need to like, I seriously need to take a minute and just, like you said, breathe and
Express.
reset.
Mhm.
So I'll respond. I don't want to react. I want to respond. And that's
Right.
big difference between the two.
Yeah.
Um, and then it says number 9, do a quick body scan. So again, it's all goes back to being self-aware,
Mhm.
self-aware,
Yeah.
like knowing your body, knowing like when you get that, like just tension and all of that, like just being self-aware. And then number 10, it says think about the future. So every time you take control, what does that do to the relationship? What does that do to you as a person? And then what does that do for you in the future? Like, what do you need to do differently, or how do you need to maybe set up the scenario different? I mean, knowing yourself, like what kind of situations are not healthy for you or put you in that place where you constantly feel like you have to control it. So I just thought this was super helpful and wanted to share it because it's something I'm seeing in my own life that I want to get a better handle on. But I mean,
Right.
I think it's a common struggle.
Right. I do too. And I think ever since, ever since COVID, when you think back to COVID and being locked down literally for like 2 years, the mental effect that it's had on all of us, and the psychological, you could say psychological damage or whatever, if you allowed it. But even in that sense, I think we get a little it's just you're a little unsure. Like, I can't really be settled in what I'm doing now, because what if that, because the media won't let go of COVID, and certain people won't let go of COVID, and we're in a recession. And it's like, no, really, we're not in a recession, because Black Friday, let me just give y'all a little information. And Black Friday was like the biggest it's ever been in years, like billions of dollars. Like, it was out the roof. So everyone's saying we're in a recession. I don't really know. Like, I don't think it's like all this media talk that we listen to and we hear, like, just pay attention to what you're allowing into your head. Because I think with COVID and with what we have finally feel like we've come out of, you can even feel, even if you weren't a controlling person before that, you can almost feel like, well, I've got to hold on to this because it could be gone tomorrow, or I don't know what the future holds, so I can't do this right now. It's just trying to control everything you can, because things were seemingly just taken away from us, like, instantly.
Well,
um
and it goes down to, let's just dive a little deeper. It goes down to even as silly as this is social media. you are in control of what you post. So your control comes down to, do you use filters? Like, I want to control the narrative. I want to control what people see. I want to control what people know about me.
Absolutely.
So I think control is very much a part of our daily lives. And just like you're talking about from the media standpoint, they control the narrative, they control what
Right.
goes out. Well,
Right.
we do as well as individuals and as people. So, I think there is something to like being able to breathe and inhale and, letting go
Yeah.
and accepting the wonderful person that you are, and, trying to like literally breathe through some of the things that come with when that control starts to kick in and you just want to like grab hold of everything. It's so
Right.
stressful. It just makes
Mhm.
me stressed. I just stressed out. I think my most stressed out moments are when I'm trying to control everything.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, "Ah, there's just some stuff I can't."
Yeah.
And when you can't and shit happens anyway, it's like it just goes to show you only have so much. So
Mhm.
you do the best you can, but you can't let it and then try to control you. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think
Good chat.
this conversation is pretty good info. So for more of our fun conversations and deep topics, follow us on CP Method, listen to Girl Chat on the Be Amazing podcast. And like ask questions. What are you
Yes.
struggling with, or what is something you want us to talk about? What topic can we jump on and do some research and have some discussion? Because I feel like this is something that we all face at some point.
Agreed.
Have a good one. We're out.
1, 2.